Hi everyone, today we are continuing with the numericals of chapter 2b. Question number 6. Here you can see the graph, the same graph you can see in your figure number 2.40. From the graph, you are asked to write the distance by which the car B was initially ahead of car A. So here they are showing the graph of two cars. You can see the first car, you can see this blue line, car A. Initially it is starting from rest to 0. Gradually after 2 seconds, okay, time is given in hour. After 2 hours, car A reaches 18 kilometer. And the same car reaches 160 kilometer at the end of 4th hour. Now the second car B, you can see this red line. Initially, when the car A is at 0, already the car B is at 40 kilometer. From there, the car B started its journey and after 2 hours, it reaches 80 kilometer. Okay, initially car A is at 0. From 0, car A reaches 80 kilometer after 2 hours and car B also reaches 80 kilometer after 2 hours. Now the car B finally it reaches 120 kilometer. Car B only reaches 120 kilometer at the end of 4th hour. So that is the concept from you have to understand from this graph. Using this you have to answer. The first question is the distance by which the car B was initially ahead of car A. Initially ahead. The distance. Initially car A is at 0. Car B is at 40 kilometer. So initially the car B is 40 kilometer ahead of car A. So the first answer you don't want to do any calculation. Directly you may write 40 kilometer. Because car B is already starting from the distance 40 kilometer. Second question is calculate the velocity of car A and car B. So we have to calculate the velocity. It's a displacement time graph. Using displacement time graph we can calculate velocity using the formula displacement by time. So here you can see velocity of car A, final displacement minus initial displacement, that is 160 minus 0 by 4 minus 0, final time minus initial time. So you will get 40 kilometer per hour. So the velocity of car A is 40 kilometer per hour. The same way velocity of B, final velocity, final displacement minus initial displacement. Car B only reaches 120 kilometer. Initially it starts its journey from 40 kilometer. So final minus initial, 120 minus 40. Time is 4 minus 0. Time is 0. So you will get 120 minus 40 by 4 minus 0. You will get the answer 20 kilometer per hour. So from this it is clear which car is moving with the high velocity, high speed. It is car A. Because velocity of car is 40 kilometer per hour. But velocity of car B is only 20 kilometer per hour. So that is the second sub question. And third sub question is the time in which car A catches car B. At which time A and B intersect. So which time? It is 2 hours. Okay. And the fourth question is the distance from start when the car A will catch car B. At what distance they met together? That is at 80 kilometer. So these are the 4 sub questions under question number 6. So you have to understand the graph clearly, then we can calculate all the answers. Okay. Now question number 7. In your textbook you are given a tabular column. In that is clearly given the time versus displacement. Time versus displacement graph is given. Question is draw a displacement time graph. We are asked to draw the displacement time graph using the tabular column. Here time is given 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. And at 0.1 second displacement is 0.05. You can take any values here. It's up to you. or if you are using a graph paper, it will be good, because here the displacement is given in 0.05, 0.2, 0.45, 0.80. So marking the values time against displacement, you will get a graph like this. So the first question is draw a graph, displacement time graph. Second sub question is state whether the motion is uniform or non-uniform. So from the graph it is clear. If it is a uniform motion, you will get a straight line like a slope. So here it is not a straight line. So we can conclude that the graph here it represents a non-uniform motion. Next, question number 8. In the textbook, you are provided with a graph showing velocity time graph. Using that graph, we are asked to calculate the displacement when the body is at 1 second, 2 second, 3 second and 4 second. So we have the formula for finding velocity is displacement by time. So from here, how will you calculate displacement? Just cross multiply velocity into time. So displacement of the body can be calculated using velocity into time. So displacement at the first second, you can see from your diagram, you please look in your figure number 2.41a. At first second, the velocity is 1 meter per second. So displacement is velocity into time, 1 into 1, you will get 1 meter. And the second velocity is 2 meter per second. So again displacement is 2 into 2, 4 meter. Same way, displacement at the third second is 3 into 3, 9 meter. Displacement at fourth second, 4 into 4, 16 meter. It's clearly given in the textbook. Using the graph, you have to find. First second, we can see first second, 1 meter per second. Second, 2 meter per second. Third second, 3 meter per second. And fourth meter, 4 meter per second. That is why I took here 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4. Now using this data, you are asked to draw a displacement time graph. So here I am taking 4 seconds are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 time in the x-axis. Unit is in second. And in y-axis I took displacement and I have from 1 meter to 16 meter. So I take the multiplication table of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. And at first second, displacement was 1 meter. So first second, you have to mark it. Again, if you are using graph paper, you will get the correct point. So almost in the middle, I put 1 meter. And second, 4 meter. Third second, 9 meter. And fourth second, 16 meter. And just join all the dots. You will get the displacement time graph of the given tabular column. Next, question number 9. Here a graph is given in the question, figure number 2.42. I'll just explain the graph. Here you can see the motion of a body. It's a velocity time graph. Initially body is at rest and gradually the velocity increases. You can see the gradual increase in velocity. It's a uniform velocity, that is why it is a slope. And the velocity increases and reaches the final value V0. Here they are not giving any numerical values, just giving the alphabets. So the final velocity is V0. Once it reaches the maximum velocity, you can see the part BC. What do you understand by part BC? Is there any change in velocity? No. The body is continuously going with the same velocity. For example, if we start our bike, initially it is at rest, we will increase the acceleration. We will give acceleration and the bike will increase its speed and finally it reaches a particular speed, maximum speed limit. For example, the maximum speed limit is 70 kilometer per hour, our government rule. So once the bike reaches 70 kilometer per hour, he is not allowed to move again, he is not allowed to increase its velocity. So he starts moving with the same velocity for the next 1 more second. Within 1 second he reaches the maximum velocity. Again after 1 more second he continues with the same velocity. Finally he is about to reach his destination. What he do? He just start reducing the acceleration. That means a retardation take place. He just reduce the acceleration So gradually the velocity reduces and reaches 0. That is finally the bike comes to rest. Okay, so within 0.5 second, from 2 second to 2.5 second time. So this is the meaning of the graph. Using this graph, your first question is, state how is the distance traveled in any part determined from the graph. When I explain you in the first video how to calculate the displacement or distance from the graph, I told there is a small trick. If it is a direct formula, velocity is displacement by time. If it is a direct formula, we can apply in the formula. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. But using the same formula, if you are asked to calculate displacement, you are asked to find the area enclosed in the graph. Okay, using velocity time graph, if you are asked to calculate displacement, you have to calculate the area inside the graph. So here already the answer is given, printed answer is the, by finding the area enclosed by the graph, we will get the displacement. Second sub question is, compare the distance travelled in part BC. So first you have to calculate the distance travelled in part BC to AB. You are asked to find, compare. So first you have to calculate, find the distance travelled in BC. So here it is almost like a square or rectangle. So formula for a square or rectangle, we can write length into breadth. Distance travelled in BC, area of a rectangle, length into breadth. Here length is, this is length, that is V0, and breadth 2t minus 1t. 2t minus 1t is 1t, or simply we can add t. So area of the rectangle we got as V0t. Same way AB, this is a triangle. We have to calculate the area of the triangle. That is half into base into height. Half into base. Here 1t or t. 1t or t means same. T into height. Half into base into height. Height is V0. So we got V0t by 2. Question is compare. Compare means the answer should be in ratio. BC is to AB. BC is V0t. AB is V0t by 2. This is a ratio. To make a proper ratio, you just want to cross multiply. Divided by 2 when go to the opposite side, multiply by 2. So you get 2 V0t is to V0t. Same values get cancelled. V0t and V0t cancel. So what is remaining here? 1. So you get 2 is to 1. So the ratio BC is to AB is 2 is to 1. Okay. Then the third sub question is, which part of the graph shows the motion with uniform velocity? So uniformly, how it is uniform velocity? Which part is showing uniform velocity? The answer is BC. That is, it is going the same velocity. It is not increasing, not decreasing. It is moving same velocity. So the answer is BC. You don't want to calculate anything directly from the graph. You can write the answer BC. Next, uniform acceleration. We are giving the acceleration. Acceleration is AB. And what about retardation? Retardation is CD. So here it is clear. BC shows uniform velocity, same velocity. AB shows acceleration. CD shows the retardation. Last question is the magnitude of acceleration higher or lower than retardation? Give reason. Compare the magnitude of acceleration and retardation. So from the graph, if you use your common sense, it is clear. The body reaches its maximum velocity within 1 minute or 1 second. Okay. And retardation, how much time it takes? Within very 0.5 second, 2 to 2.5. That means within 0.5 second, from the maximum it reaches 0. So you are asked to compare the acceleration and retardation. Magnitude of acceleration and retardation. When you are asked magnitude, you don't want to consider the negative sign of retardation. Just we have to consider the value, magnitude. So acceleration. First we can find acceleration. Acceleration part AB. Formula for acceleration is velocity by time. Maximum velocity is v0, time is 1t. So acceleration is v0 by time. Then retardation takes place in CD. So again formula is same, velocity by time. Velocity is maximum velocity is v0, time is 2.5 minus 2, you will get 0.5 t. Now again you are asked to compare acceleration is to retardation. v0 by 1t is to v0 by 0.5 t. Now you can just cross multiply. Ratio, compare means answer should be in ratio. A ratio should not be in a fraction way. So just cross multiply. So v0 into 0.5 t equals 1t into v0. So you get 0.5 v0t, 1 into v0t. Same values get cancelled. v0t will get cancelled. Finally you will get 0.5 in one side and 1 on the other side. So the ratio of acceleration is to retardation. You have to write the full alphabet. 0.5 is to 1, or the 0.5 is to 1 can be written as 1 is to 2. So that is the ratio. Next question number 10. The velocity time graph of a moving body is given below. Here we are asked to calculate the acceleration in part AB, BC and CD, and you are asked to calculate displacement in part AB, BC and CD and the total displacement. So these are the questions. So from the graph, first you have to understand the graph. Here you can say body starts from rest and within 4 seconds it reaches the maximum velocity 30 meter per second. And for the next 4 more seconds, from 4 seconds to 8 seconds means next 4 seconds, the body moves with the same velocity, that is 30 meter per second. That means here in the part AB, we are giving acceleration. So speed gradually increases. Once it reaches the maximum value, now we are not giving acceleration, we are holding the accelerator at a constant way. We are not pulling it up or down. So the vehicle is moving the same velocity 30 meter per second. At the end of 8th second, you can see the graph moving downward. That means we are reducing the acceleration. So you can see that within 2 seconds, from 8th second to 10th second, that means within 2 seconds, from the maximum velocity, it comes to stop. That is the velocity becomes 0. So that is the concept of this graph. Now, using this graph, you are asked to calculate the acceleration in AB. How will you calculate acceleration? Formula for acceleration is velocity by time. Here 2 velocities are given. You write final velocity minus initial velocity divided by final time minus initial time. So AB, this is the slope. Final velocity minus initial velocity. 30 minus 0. Final time minus initial time. 4 minus 0. So when you calculate, you will get the answer 7.5 meter per second square. Acceleration in AB. Now acceleration in BC. Without calculating, it is clear that we are not giving any acceleration. If we give the acceleration means the velocity should increase. But here there is no change in acceleration, velocity. That means we are giving 0 acceleration. But still we have to prove using the formula. Acceleration BC, final velocity, BC, final velocity minus initial velocity, both are 30. So 30 minus 30 by final time minus initial time, 8 minus 4. So since the numerator is 0, we will get the answer also 0 meter per second square. Now the velocity in CD. Actually, we cannot calculate the acceleration in CD. It is retardation, but we are calculating the acceleration. Question is to find acceleration. So from C to D. So your final velocity is 0. The bike comes to rest. So final velocity is 0 minus initial velocity. The bike was initially moving with velocity 30. That is why we took here 0 minus 30. Keep in mind, already initially the body is moving with the velocity 30, reduces the acceleration, finally it reaches 0. So we have to take final velocity as 0, finally comes to rest. Final velocity 0, initially it is moving with the velocity 30. So we have to take 0 minus 30 by final time minus initial time. At 8th second it started tardy. So 10 minus 8. So 0 minus 30. Minus 30 by 2. You will get minus 15 meter per second square. So you know it is a retardation, that is why it is negative. So the first part is calculate the acceleration in A, B, B, C, C. Second question is, you are asked to find the distance covered by the part AB, part BC and part CD. Using velocity time graph, if you are asked to calculate the distance, you have to find the area enclosed. So in part AB, you can see this is a triangle. We have to calculate the area of the triangle. Half into base, 4 into height, 30. Then displacement in BC, this is a rectangle. So again we have to calculate length into breadth. What is this length? From 4 to 8. So this distance is 4. And height is 30. Length into breadth is 30. So L into B, 4 into 30. You will get the area of the rectangle. Now again, displacement in CD. Again it is a small triangle. Half into base into height. Half into base. Base it is 2. And height is 30. So here you can see displacement in AB. That is area of triangle. Half into base into height. Half into 4 into 30. You will get 60 meter. Then displacement in BC. Area of a rectangle. Length into breadth. 4 into 30. 120 meter. And displacement in CD. Area of again the triangle. Half into base into height. Half into 2 into 30. You will get 30 meter. So the second sub question is over. Third sub question is calculate the total displacement. You just all the three, add all the three, you will get the answer. Total displacement of the body is 60 plus 120 plus 30. You will get the answer 210 meter. Next question number 11. A ball moves on a smooth floor in a straight line with a uniform velocity 10 meter per second for 6 seconds. At t is equal to 6 seconds, the ball hits a wall and comes back along the same line to the starting point with the same speed. Draw the velocity time graph. So here you can see a ball is moving in a smooth floor. We are just neglecting the friction. Smooth floor with a velocity 10 meter per second. Within 6 seconds, it hits the wall and return back to the same position. You are asked to draw the velocity time graph. Here, they are only mentioning the velocity and the time at the 6th second and returning back. So we have to take the negative quadrant also. So here you can see velocity in the y-axis and time on the x-axis. Time I mark here 6 and 12 because first 6 seconds it reaches the wall and the next 6 seconds, so 6 plus 6, 12 seconds, it returns to the same position. So for the first 6 seconds, see I am again saying neglecting the friction. If there is friction, you know, it will gradually, the velocity will reduce. But here they are just neglecting the friction. For the first 6 seconds, the ball is rolling with the same velocity 10 meter per second. At the end of 6 seconds, it suddenly reaches. Actually, you wanted to show the slope also. Suddenly it reaches. Suddenly it hits the wall. That is, it comes to rest. And again returning back. That is coming the opposite direction. So you have to draw the graph towards the negative quadrant. And the next 6 seconds, it again moves to the same velocity. So this is the graph. Velocity time graph of a ball. Moving with the same velocity within 6 seconds it hits the ground, so reaches 0. Again returning back and again going 6 seconds to its original position. So you are asked to calculate. First you are asked to draw the graph. Afterwards you are asked to calculate. The second sub question is calculate the distance travelled by the ball. Since it is not a closed graph, you are asked to find the distance if it is a closed graph. Here this is not a closed graph. In this case, we can use the formula distance is velocity into time. So velocity is 10 meter per second and time is 6 seconds. So 10 into 6, 60 meter. So in the first case, we can take 60 meter. So if the ball takes 60 meter, the distance traveled is 60 meter, returning to the initial position will be also 60 meter because the ball come to the same position. So 60 plus 60. So total distance traveled is 120 meter. Now third sub question, you are asked to find the displacement. The ball starts its journey from this position, hits the ball, return back to the same position. It does not have any displacement because the body returned back to its original position. So we can write displacement is equal to 0. Next, our last question from this chapter 2b. Question number 12. Already the graph is given. The velocity time graph is given. So the body starts its journey from 0. Within 4 seconds, it reaches the maximum velocity 2 meter per second. After 4 seconds, you can see the velocity gradually reduces and reaches 0 within again 2 more seconds. So that is the graph. Here we are asked to calculate. First question is state the nature of motion of particle. Just want to say the nature of the particle, nature of the motion of the particle. Here you can see it is uniformly accelerated from 0 to 4 seconds and uniformly retarded from 4 to 6 seconds. So uniform acceleration and uniform retardation. So just want to write in sentence. Second question is find the displacement of particle at t is equal to 6 seconds. That is when the time is 6 seconds, how much distance it travels. So we have to calculate using velocity time graph. For calculating distance, calculate the area enclosed. So for that we can consider this as two triangles. First triangle and second triangle. So area of this triangle plus area of this triangle. So here you can see displacement at the 6th second is area of triangle. First triangle half into base into height. Base is 4, height is 2 meter per second. So half into 4 into 2 plus area of the second triangle half into base into height. Height is 2, base is also 2. While calculating you get first area is 4, second is 2. So total you can get 6 meter. So the total displacement of the body is 6 meter or total distance travelled by the body is 6 meter. Question number 3 is sub question. Does the particle change its direction of motion? Actually in the question it is told the body moving in a straight line. It's already given in the question. So when a body is moving in a straight line means it is not changing its position. So you can write no. Now question number 4. Compare the distance travelled by the particle from 0 to 4 and 4 to 6. So already we calculated distance travelled from 0 to 4, this triangle and this triangle. So you are asked to compare first triangle with the second triangle. So a distance travelled from 0 to 4 is to distance travelled from 4 to 6. 0 to 4 we already got it is 4 and second triangle is 2. So 4 is to 2. We can reduce it. We can write as 2 is to 1. And question number 5. Find the acceleration from 0 to 4 and retardation from 4 to 6. So using velocity time graph, we can easily find acceleration using the formula. Acceleration is velocity by time. That is change in velocity by time. Final velocity minus initial velocity by final time minus initial time. So 2 minus 0. First I am considering this slope. Acceleration of this slope 2 minus 0 by 4 minus 0. 2 minus 0 by 4 minus 0 you get 2 by 4. That is 0.5 meter per second square acceleration. And again you are asked to calculate retardation from 4 to 6 seconds. We don't have the formula for retardation. We're asked to calculate retardation, but we have only the formula for acceleration. So just to calculate acceleration. So acceleration, final velocity minus initial velocity. Keep in mind, finally the ball come to rest. So final velocity we should take as 0. At the 6th second, ball come to rest. Velocity is 0. So 0 minus 2 divided by final time minus initial time. 6 minus 4. 0 minus 2 divided by 6 minus 4. 0 minus 2 is negative 2 by 2. You will get negative 1 meter per second square. So we calculate here acceleration, but our question is to calculate retardation. Retardation is negative of acceleration. So you can write retardation is negative of acceleration. That is negative of negative 1. You will get positive 1 meter per second square. So we come to the conclusion of our chapter 2B numericals. Thank you all.